I had heard the name, and I think when you saw Jimmy's name as one of the wrestlers, you looked to see which bracket he was in, and if you were possibly going to have to face him. I just remember them telling me he's 6'8", 385. When I saw him and realized that he was in my bracket, I just kind of scared to death. Comparing what you saw in Jimmy compared to these 275-pound limit now, I don't know. I hated when they did that. I mean, I think that there's a certain competition that comes, a different kind of competition that comes with the big guys.
Yeah, our first match, he was probably the only. He's a freshman at Oklahoma State, and he's about 300 pounds. And I was a wily old veteran at 24, so I beat him. I scored one takedown on him, and I managed to get 2 stalling calls against him. There wasn't much action. But then after that, in '76, the next time I saw him, he was 80 pounds heavier probably and very explosive. He was dangerous. You know that if he got the lock around me, he was going to launch me and pin me.
I think one of the things that I remember standing out was his focus, because once he set his mind to doing something, whether it would be athletically or later in school, he came back and got an MBA and such. He got things done, and he was also very compassionate for people. He cared about people. I remember we wrestled in Chattanooga one time, University of Tennessee, and it was early. Jimmy and I went out for an early morning run, and it was December, and it was quite cold, and here we are jogging in not a great part of town, and all of a sudden we were surrounded by about 8 or 9 little African American kids following us jogging, and they're talking to Jimmy saying, "What are you running from? What, are you in trouble?" And Jimmy goes, "No, I'm running to stay in shape." "Shape for what?" "Wrestling." And they couldn't fathom what he was doing, but they jogged along with us for quite a bit until I think we got out of their neighborhood. But it was pretty fun.
I see Gallagher Arena being, with regard to wrestling, being kind of like Notre Dame Stadium was for our football. It's your sport. It's a huge sport. You've got amazing success, and people want to go and watch. You knew that you were going to get a lot of the best wrestlers. You knew you were going to get a lot of great competition when it came down to it. When he developed himself into a 3-time national champion, to stand up and to stand out in a sport at a school that looks at it as as one of the big things that they love to do as representative of the school, it says a lot for him.
I'm pretty sure he wrestled Kalkbrenner from OU, and the place was packed. There was 10,000 people, and in the old Gallagher Hall, it was really an arena. And Jimmy and him were pushing. They went out of bounds, and the guy threw a punch at Jimmy. The guy's brother threw a punch at Jimmy, and Jimmy just kind of shrugged it off. But I remember Kalkbrenner's mother coming up and hitting him with a purse. Then the benches cleared, and the place was shut down for an hour. And then Jimmy went out. I think probably pinned him.
Before the age of 21, I won the freestyle nationals, the Greco-Roman nationals, the NCAA nationals, and then I was 4th in the world championships in freestyle in 1970. So when Jackson beat me, he beat somebody. But when I beat him in the Olympic tryouts, I know I beat a great wrestler also. I think he was very deserving. I was kind of surprised. I thought he was in already. I really thought he was in already. 3-time NCAA champion, 3-time World Cup champion, Olympian. He's definitely deserving.
I've always felt it was a little bit overdue. I wish we would have been able to do that a lot earlier while he was still alive. It was really devastating to hear how young he was when he passed on. So it's an award I feel that's way overdue, but it's good in the sense he's finally getting recognized for his accomplishments. He would have been a little bit humbled by it, because I'm I'm sure he doesn't. It's funny. People like Jimmy and champions and such don't really see themselves as different types of individuals. It's just people doing things they love to do. I think it'd probably be the biggest honor that he feels like he's been given.
Having wrestled against him, I had a special perspective than I think a lot of the people who end up voting for the people that go in. They should have asked me back in the day, and I would have told them, put them in now. It's an amazing feeling when you're in a school that's known for a certain thing, and then you excel to the very top level, and then do it internationally. There's something special about you. And the fact that he did it with so much success, and there's, like I said, he should have been one of these guys that got in right away.